Hello everybody, welcome to your reading. So I'm going to do a reading for the Divine Feminine, where you are right now, how it's all going. If you like this video, if you could like, share and subscribe, I would be most grateful. For those of you that have, I am so grateful, thank you very much. So without further ado, let's get to it. What can we say to our viewer today, Alice? How can we help our viewer today? Our Divine Feminine viewer. So these are for all you Divine Feminines out there. As you know, I am a Divine Feminine. I have reached inner union, and I don't say that with any... well, I do. I say it with happiness, but by God, it was a long road, a really long road. I really... like I put in my description, I want to help as many of you as possible to not have to go on that long road, if possible. We're all on different paths, so it will be different for all of us. But what can we say to our listener today, Alice? Our Divine Feminine listener. How can we help our Divine Feminines out there today? So we have visualize. See your dreams clearly in your mind's eye. This comes with manifestation. See your dreams clearly. Now, this doesn't mean your person. This is something that you need to understand. We cannot manifest a person. When I first heard that, you know how much in love with Abraham Hicks I am, and I have been following Esther Hicks for many years now, possibly linked with when I started my twin flame journey. And when she said this, I was like, what? What do you mean? You've just said you can manifest anything you like. It's the energy that you're manifesting. So sure, you can manifest materialistic things, cars, happenings and things like that. How can I, what example can I make of that? So yeah, so if you're asking for a sign, it is manifesting. It's manifestation. When you ask for a sign and it appears, it shows where you are with your manifesting skills. So if you want to test the manifestation, say, I want to see a blue butterfly, and you may think, a blue butterfly? Are there such things in the real world? And yeah, there are, because spirit will find a way of doing it, and the way they will make that appear isn't exactly how you think it will appear. It won't be fluttering along as you're walking. It'll probably be a picture, or you may be listening to something and someone mentions a blue butterfly. That is the manifestation. So set your dreams clearly in your mind's eye. Visualize what you want from your life, and then let it be. Let it go. Visualize, let it go. It doesn't matter if you visualize it every day, but try and let it go, because then that's releasing it to spirit to enable it to come. Recognize that love is a consistent, eternal force. Yeah, absolutely it is. So unconditional love is what we're all striving for, Divine Feminines especially. Rather than think of your Divine Masculine, think of eternal love of self, because that is exactly what the Divine Masculine is. It could be a bit of a trigger warning here, but of course he's in, or she, or you know where I'm going here. I'm just talking as I talk, but it's energy. So they may be male, they may be female. You as a Divine Feminine may be male, you may be female. So the divine counterpart, that's a good way around it. Divine counterpart of yours is you. This is really tricky one to get your head around, but they are you. And the love that you feel for them is the love that you have for you, but it's been um, presented, because we're in a human experience, it's been presented in a human body. I hope that makes sense. So you have to find a way, do the work to bring that love back to self, to know the unconditional love you have for you that isn't depicted by a human being. And that is a really tricky one, I know. Trust your inner voice and follow the guidance. And again, that is manifestation again. I love rainbows, absolutely love rainbows, and I say, and I spirit knows that. And yesterday, I was sitting there, and I was, in my own little world, and then all of a sudden, a beautiful big rainbow appeared in the sky, and it always appears over my house. And it's just spirit saying, you've got this, you're on the right path, you're doing everything right. One mistake I made with signs, I say mistake, it's not necessarily a mistake, but one little thing I used to say, oh, and show me a butterfly if he's going to text me today. And of course that did work a few times, but it isn't really, that's, you want to get out of that mindset, bring it to self. So actually, when you're asking for the signs, ask for them in a way of, I'm on the right path, I'm doing the right things, I've got this. Try and ask for your signs that way, and signs will be coming to you, right? If you are on a twin flame journey, which you will be because this is divine feminine, signs will be presented to you everywhere, and I'm sure you've all found that out. Oh my god, I just can't believe well, I should be able to believe it, but even I get really in awe with spirit. Intentions, set clear and focused intentions, it's all the same message. Visualize, feel the eternal love for self, use your intuition, listen to your guides, and set your intention. Set your intention, visualize it, intuit it. And as you move through this journey, and as you come into inner union, your intuition will be heightened. I now hear things all the time. I'm getting messages and little things going on, and it gets to the point where you sort of, I lost something the other day, and I said, oh, where is it? And because I'm closing the mind chatter down, which is what happens when you come into inner union. You're not closing it down completely, because you still need that contrast. You still need, in my own humble opinion, you need a little bit of resistance to know when you're out of sync, to get yourself back in sync. And I'd lost something really dear to me, and at first I was really, oh no, where is it? And as soon as I just breathed, stepped back, spirit showed me exactly where it was, and it was in the car. And I went to the car, it had fallen out of my pocket, and there it was in the back of my seat. So, but I had to just clear my mind for that to come through. And that's why a lot of times you'll ask a question and it'll come to you, the answer will come to you in a totally different time. Not when you want the answer, but that's because you've moved away from it. So you've cleared the path, you've cleared the channel for spirit to come through. Hope that makes sense. So that's what they're saying at the moment. Visualize, set your intention, bring the love within, and use your intuition a lot more. And start trusting it. Thanks, Alice. Yeah, start trusting it. What else can we say to our divine feminine? Please, spirit, Alice. What else can we say to our divine feminine? Excellent. I'm so glad the dragonfly came out. So I think this is an energy you've been in. The divine feminines that are here now, you've either been in it or are still in it, feeling sad, feeling lost, grieving and despair. This is very normal, which is not a nice word to use when you're going through this. This is possibly dark night of the soul. Some of you are still going through the dark night of the soul, and that's why spirit are almost begging you to get through this. Use your intuition, manifest what you want, bring the love within, do the inner work. There are so many people who can help you out there on YouTube. You're still in this addiction, obsessive restraint, and I'm sorry for the words, they're what on here, but they are emotionally blocking you. This energy is blocking you from what you can have when you open yourself. I beg you to meditate. It will help you. And then this, it's not all bad news, because this, you're coming through this, and with intuition come new beginnings, liberation, rebirth, transition, and intention. Set your intention, and then you become light-hearted, finding out change, things coming to light. So this is behind you, or you're going through it and it will soon be behind you. And these are the new beginnings by using the tools that spirit are guiding you to use. What else can we say? More of these? No. Okay. We'll go to this deck. I love this deck. I love the energy in this deck. How can we help our divine feminine? What other advice can we give our divine feminine, Alice? Slippery little suckers. Okay. We'll try once more. What other messages can we give our divine feminine today? So I think I may have two sets of people here. I may have divine feminine who have gone through this, and in which case you are here, and some who are going through this. And I just give you all my love for that, because it is difficult. It's a difficult journey, but it's one that you need to go on, because if you don't, what you're feeling now will never leave you. And that's a horrible thing to say. It's a horrible thing to have to say. But you're listening to someone who's been through it. I know you have to come through it, because you've chosen this path for a reason. You've chosen this path to awaken. So I beg you to do the work. Okay. What else can we say, Alice, to our divine feminines? Yeah. Perfect. You need a different perspective. So the divine feminines who are still going through and possibly still having dark night of the soul, just change your angle. Have a more open mind. And what I mean, the way I can describe this is, so when I was going through this, I would find people on YouTube and think, what on earth are you talking about? No idea what you're talking about, and dismiss them. And then as you go through the journey, you may go back to a channel that you've recently dismissed, and then it speaks to you. So just have another look at some people that for instance, if you have listened to Abraham Hicks and you thought, no idea what you're talking about, dude, no idea at all, not talking to me, just go back. You may understand them, because that's exactly what's happening. When you don't understand somebody, or you don't get what they're saying, or you don't vibe with them, it's because your vibration isn't at that place. I hope that makes sense. There was one person that I has been with me all through my journey, and I've dipped in and out of them. And then you'll find you probably move on to somebody else. So just change who you're listening to. So regret, sadness, past actions, karma. Don't get wrapped up in that. Just don't get wrapped up in regret and sadness. Try and see that from love. Try and change that. Whenever you get this dark cloud over you, what Abraham Hicks would say is go general. And if you have a day when this is happening, write that day off. When I say write that day off, just say, okay, it's not happening today for me. I'm just going to go to sleep tonight. The clock will go back to zero, a little bit like Groundhog Day, but you won't wake up exactly the same the next day. And then you have a chance to change things. And if you've meditated the night before, you will definitely set it back to zero. So just come out of that energy. So it's a travel card, but for me it's travel of the energy that you're in. And again, it's on this side. This side is more like where you've been or where you are now, and this is where you're going to, or where you are at now if you've done the work. And I could be talking to fire signs. I could be talking to Leo, Sag, Aries. I'm an Aries, so that could be relevant to somebody. Harmony, inner zen, peaceful mind. Yeah, that's what you need to get to release this dark night of the soul. Family comfort, moving house. Again, moving house. The house is the self. So you will gain comfort from moving. With this, which card was it? Yeah, the perspective. Look from a different angle, change, open mind. And that's the same as moving home. This is a twin flame reading. This is an energetic reading. The home is the self. You're not moving into another body, but what you are doing is moving the energy within the house that you are in. Forgiveness is key. Forgiving everybody that you've had trauma bonds with, that you've had childhood wounds with. You need to forgive them. That's not condoning their actions, although, and I found this out with my parents, if you look back on how they, if it was more of being absent, so the caregiver that is absent, so that all that's happening is they're just not loving you. I'm not talking abusive here. That's different. I can't talk about that because I've not had that experience, but that is slightly different. But with let's say caregivers who were absent, emotionally inept and all the rest of it, I got to the stage when I was going through my healing journey. I'm only telling you this to hopefully help some people. And I actually got to the stage where I thought, well, actually, they didn't say that. They didn't actually say that. It's how I perceived their absence. Does that make sense? So just because they didn't tell me that, I perceived that they meant that. Marissa Peer's a good one to look at on YouTube. She says, tell yourself a better lie. And the lie that you've been holding, and I'm talking about absent parents, is that what they were saying was the truth, if they were saying it. Either if they were saying it was the truth, which it wasn't, or if they weren't saying it, you were perceiving it a different way. When you look at it from that way, you think, oh, right. And then certainly on the twin flame journey, you realize that was part of your healing. That's part of your journey. That's a hard one to accept and believe, but it's true. And when you forgive them, and when you see that, when you think, oh yeah, when you get that moment and forgiveness, that's when things really start to take off. Commitment higher level of commitment. Now, the way I'm reading this in this reading, this is not of two bodies. This is commitment to the cause, commitment to the journey, your commitment to your twin flame journey. I want to carry on with these because I think we need a manifest, law of attraction. There it is again. And look at that. It's under the visualize to manifest. That's what they're saying. Law of attraction, within reach, positive mindset. When you release these things, when you go through the dark night of the soul, when you do the forgiveness, then you can manifest anything you want to. Love of a lifetime. And again, in this reading, that isn't a person. That is you. See how that's on the home, and I said that isn't a person, that's your body, that's your house, and that's your life partner to come into self-love. It's all about self-love. Fear, forgiveness will release the fear. I love how these are just all making sense. And conflict. Yeah, let go of the inner struggle. Let go of the inner struggle to get that commitment with self. So I really hope just to do this work. There are so many people on YouTube. I keep saying this. So many people. I can't. Well, I mean, I can. Abraham Hicks is the one I always direct people to, but certainly with the twin flame journey. But there's so many twin flame coaches out there, and I can't say because what I will resonate won't resonate with you. You have to find them, and it's part of the work, because by finding the one that doesn't resonate will help you find the one that does resonate, and even the one that doesn't resonate will still have things to say, if that makes sense. So I'm just going to pull a couple of these for you. Advice for our Divine Feminine, Alice. How can we advise our Divine Feminine today? Just keep going. Keep going. Please do the meditations. Try them. And don't do it a couple of times and think, well, that didn't work. Keep doing it. Make it a habit. And it's there for you. It's all there for you. You just got to do this work. And those of you who have done this work and are coming this way, then, you know, well done. But it doesn't stop there. You've got to keep doing the work. So, right. Excellent. Alice is excited today. Yes, you are. I can see you. She's lovely. She jumps up and down in a bed of sunflowers a lot of the time. I love it. Okay. Come on then, Alice. Where do we want to stop? Okay. Cool. Okay, conscious service. Spiritual counselling, humanitarianism. Now, this is an interesting one. That's 1111, twin flame sign from the universe. A number that you'll see a lot on this journey. But this is part of it as well. Every Divine Feminine who is on a true twin flame journey has a gift of some sort, a service to complete, to spirit, to God, whoever you want to say, the universe. It could be tarot reading, like me doing this. This is my service. It could be Reiki. It could be life coaching. And there are lots of life coaching for twin flames out there doing wonderful work. And again, I urge you to find one of them. It could be yoga. It could be anything that is a service to others. The list is endless, but they are urging you to, and again, I can only tell you what happened to me. I found my gifts, not found my gifts because I've always had them, but they really came to a head about many years ago, frightened me to death, and I immediately put up a wall and then didn't have them for a few years. And then as soon as I began this twin flame journey, they started knocking on the door again. And I denied it and denied it and denied it. I said, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. And as Yaz says, the only way is up. And that's true. The only way is up. And I'm now happily doing this work, happily helping people wherever I can. And it opens so many doors for you. So I urge you to do whatever it is that you're guided to do to help others. Pay attention to the fruits of your labour. Here's 11:11 again. Where are the fruits of your labour? What's being revealed? What manifested and why? So going back to this line at the top, manifestation, visualization. What is being manifested to you right now? And that doesn't mean in materialism or anything else. What's happening in your lifetime now that's a manifestation of your thoughts? I mean, I've said this before, what you think, what you feel, how you act becomes, because you are your consciousness, obviously. So what do I mean by that? And it's one I use all the time. Pay attention to your thoughts. Pay attention to what the outside world is showing you. Are people smiling at you? Are people grumpy? Are people slamming doors in your face? Are people opening doors for you? Are people in traffic letting you in, or are they cutting you up? This is a reflection of your energy. I know it sounds crazy, but it's true. And I think I know I've told this in another video, but I wasn't working. I was on holiday, and I'm normally in a much better place of mind when I'm not working. But anyway, that's my journey. I walk the dogs, and that's my happy place. That's where I'm really vibing high. But before I went out, I woke up a little bit on the wrong side of the bed. Happens to everybody. And I was being a bit and I was thinking about somebody who had, done something probably at work. And I was in that energy. Let's say I was in that energy. And I was walking towards this lady who was just walking. I had 3 dogs with me. And I thought, oh, she'll go around me. And she didn't. She walked straight towards me. And I really had to squeeze in and get the dogs and squeeze them in. And I was like, what was all that about? And I heard instantly from spirit, clean up your vibration, because that's what you're giving out. That's the energy you're giving out to the world. I really hope that makes sense to you. And then, you couldn't make this up, signs and synchronicities. You've been given a sign. Notice patterns and symbols. Pay attention. Pay attention to everything. And I'm at the stage now where I only have to think something and it happens. You have to be very careful what you think. And it is true, because you can attract negativity just the same as you attract positivity. I've also said this before. Manifesting is just like the genie in the lamp. Your wishes, the universe says your wish is my command. They don't think, are you sure you want that? That's not going to do you any good. They go, your wish is my command. So just be careful when you're manifesting to be in the higher vibration, in the right frame of mind. I really hope that's made sense to somebody. Like I say, if it has, and you like this channel, you like this content, please like, share and subscribe, as it will help us grow and it will help me speak to many more divine feminines and help more people. Thank you for being there, and I'll see you again soon. Bye bye.